it's ironic in a way that Michael Massey and Liberty Media, and they were trying essentially to push the thingy to the end. They were trying to get this showdown. They were trying to get so much
graphics.
They were trying to essentially get Formula One a bigger fan base, but the way they did it, they might actually lose fans just because if it gets overturned, I think they're going to appeal it. I think it's going to get rejected, and I think then they get to take it to the International Court of related to.
That's already happened. So it was appealed and rejected straight after the race within about 2 hours of it happening. That's when you got the statement.
They lodged a complaint. They lodged a complaint.
What they took it to the stewards.
Yeah.
They said Max overtook us under the safety car.
Yeah.
And
I don't think
safety car.
It's not going to change for the Max thing. It's going to change.
The safety car. He overtook us under the safety car, and the safety car rules weren't followed by Michael Massey. The first one, you're completely right. The overtaking under the safety car, that was just thrown in there for the sake of, it was like what they called Hail Marys.
Just throw as many.
Just give it a go. The second one was the main one, but the stewards still overruled that. They had a hearing after the race. It was like 9 p.m. local time for them. Or I think it was even later. I don't know. But I think it was 9 p.m. here in the UK, and then a lot later over there. They had the hearings and stuff, and they declared it. The steward said, no, we're keeping it. Max is still world champion. The overtaking thing, we admit he overtook Lewis, but we don't really care, basically. And there were arguments made about the safety car rules, but we'll get into what they actually said specifically. After that, they had an hour window to lodge their intent to appeal it.
Yeah, but
so
they
that's
appeal it with the stewards as well.
No, that goes to the International Court of Appeal. So this
yeah,
thing
but that's the
handed
thing.
in now.
What I'm saying is, even if the International Court of Appeal rejects it, they can actually take it to like a higher court.
Oh, this is the Court of something motorsport.
Yes, the International Court of like motorsport, whatever.
So it's the I didn't write it down.
It's basically that's the one where like McLaren
I think it's CAS, what they're calling it.
McLaren got like the 100 million fine. Was that the highest court essentially?
This is how intense it's got though. I was on the Daily Mail website of all places you'd find me, and they said that in the regulations for applying as a constructor to enter the World Championship, you have to say that appeals and stuff go through the ICA, the International Court of Appeal, which is independent from the FIA. That's what they're saying it is. So they've ruled out the idea that it could go to that other court, but we'll see. I don't know. First of all, Mercedes have to actually say they're going to do it. They need to follow through and say that we're going to take this to court. Then the court stuff needs to happen, but I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to overload everything now. The court stuff's confusing.
Realistically speaking, Max is going to get the trophy on Thursday.
Yes, definitely.
If it gets changed, it's going to get changed probably around February time, like closer to the start of the new season.
It takes at least a month.
But that's why I think where they screwed up, because now they've basically ruined. They've ruined it for the fans. Like, Harry Kane was commenting on it. He's like, I've not watched F1, but like...
Bro, this... One thing we can all get behind is no one wants to see celebrities chatting about...
No, but I'm talking about it in terms of, like, people who have no clue what they're talking about. Yeah. Even they, like, they're confused.
Gary Lineker's tweet was elite, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Right, he was like, oh, yeah, so they're, like, 4-0 up, and then suddenly the referee was like, you know what? We're going to settle this by a penalty shootout. You lot, you're shooting barefoot. And you know what? It wasn't even that wrong, to be honest. And then Will Buxton was in the replies like, oh, this is so wrong. I'm sorry, this is not accurate, though. Like, Will Buxton's just... I mean, realistically, he's just a spawn of F1. Like, he's their puppet, so you can't really listen to anything he says. Right, look, I don't want to... We'll go through this later, but first of all, we'll get into qualifying and the start of the race. So, quali happened. Max's pace was insane. He did what he couldn't do last week, finished the lap, and he smashed it completely. Like the Red Bulls once again setting pace. What did you think of the lap?
I think, free practice, boring.
No one watches practice.
But free practice did give us an idea that Mercedes would have the better pace on the long run.
Yeah.
But Red Bull had tested the softs, essentially. And then going into qualifying, I think everyone kind of thought Max would put it on pole, but I think the surprising thing was qualifying was kind of like great lap, but not as great as Saudi because he was a lot closer than Saudi. But I think the thing we have to talk about is Max's start.
We don't want to get into
Max's
that too soon.
start,
First of all, I just
bro,
want to say,
is
in terms of qualifying as well, Sonoda put it through. Sonoda, we'll get onto him in a bit as well. I don't want to like keep delaying things to the end of the podcast, but like, Sonoda got through to Q2 on mediums. Other than the two Mercedes, he was the only driver in the top 10.
You mean Q3
So he got through. He got through to Q3
on
medium tires. Other than the two Mercedes, he's the only driver that did that. Everyone else did it on softs. Obviously, you could argue Red Bull did it on purpose, but like, for a midfield driver to do
Bull
that,
did it on purpose. But Red Bull, the whole idea was to start on softs to get the advantage. I think if Max was ahead, I genuinely think he would have kept Lewis behind him. But
I mean, he would have done anything to keep
exactly.
him
So
behind.
he would have kept like I think Saudi is a good indication of Lewis having the pace, but just not being able to overtake.
But Saudi's a different track. I thought.
Yeah,
with
but-
the like
but
1
even-
kilometer straight down the back straight.
But even then, Max would just weave.
He did
And Max-
weave,
and Max
he
would-
did weave.
And Max was gonna take the inside and just push his car like so. Lewis might have like be further ahead, and Max is just like gonna block him off on that. So he's gonna defend it. I think he would have kept the position, but his start is just shocking.
Yeah, well, he got completely dusted on the start, like
Tenth-
so clear into turn one.
He was a 10th down in reaction time.
And then on top of that, I think Red Bull said he had clutch issues. Not clutch issues, but he messed up with the clutch in first and second gear, so his start was awful. Lewis gets past, and now his strategy is ruined. Like, the whole point of being on soft tyres, you're meant to build up a gap to the car behind you, and then pit, and you have like all of this basically. But if the car's ahead of you, there's nothing you can do. Like, your strategy's ruined.
You're ruined.
So
But you have